Okay.
Wasn't one kid hurt?
Yes.
Didn't he get hurt? And then like his dad was like, gave him a look like you're lucky, but or he was like almost really hurt or something.
So there were two things I found in here. First, there was one kid who fell and ate like they watched the replay. Like, I don't know how this kid didn't break his fucking neck, but his father was an attorney, and the grand prize for if you won that one was like a oh yeah, you remember how they would have a prize for each of the obstacles?
Yeah.
The next one was a big screen TV. So the father just said, like, if you guys had made this a little safer, my kid would have won that TV. I think you give us the TV, you don't have anything to worry about. So they gave them the TV, and they never let any children who had attorney parents on the show ever again. There was another kid fell, broke his arm in two places. Found out after the fact. They give these kids a health screening before all of these. The kid's parents and the parents had lied. The kid had brittle bone disease, and they just didn't tell them. This was like the 8th or 9th time he had broken this arm.
Like Samuel L. Jackson in
Yes.
Unbreakable.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, dude.
The other thing is that because this was a TV studio not built for this, the floor was made extra smooth so the cameras could move freely. So unfortunately, with the messiness, people were fucking falling and hurting themselves constantly. And also,
man, didn't Mark Summers just didn't buy a wardrobe because he was like he like all his clothes would just get ruined, so he wouldn't.
Oh yeah, but not only that, it straight up
Something
smelled.
like that.
They straight up said the studio smelled like death at the end of the day, because you have to keep in mind all this messy shit. A lot of it is already expired food under studio lights, and they're shooting like 5 episodes a day. You never stopped and thought about who had to clean up at the end of the. Apparently, it got gross enough that the people in charge of cleaning, if they touched any of it without gloves on, would get horrible rashes and blisters every week.
What about the people playing in it? Like, the people doing the physical challenges and whatnot.
Maybe they hose them off right away. Maybe the clothes had some kind of antidote on them. I don't know. But yeah, so that's all I have about that. And now we're going to do a lightning round because I don't know any of these fucking shows. Joey, do me a quick lightning round. Just give me a quick yes or no if you have any memories of these shows, okay?
Okay.
Finders Keepers.
I remember the name, but I don't think I ever watched it.
All right. Think Fast.
No.
Make the Grade.
No.
Out of Here.
No.
Wild and Crazy Kids. We've seen that.
Yes, I know that one.
Get the Picture.
No.
What Would You Do? I loved What Would You Do.
Yeah, I used to watch that all the time.
Yeah, that was also Mark Summers. And then Nick Arcade. And then that's all we're covering on this episode.
What about Wienerville? I guess it's not technically a game show.
It's not a game show. I love it.
Well, there is. They get wienerized, and they gotta do something. There is a game show element to it, but it's only like the very end. Which, by the way, stupid me thought you really got turned into a puppet as a child. I wanted to go on Wienerville so bad because I wanted to be turned into a puppet, not realizing that your head is just behind a screen. Mind you, how old were we when that was on? Like 3 years old. So
Wienerville, I thought we were 6 or 7.
I don't know. That was when was that? When was Wienerville on? Let me see.
You have to look that up. Wienerville was the show starring Mark Wiener, who was just a weird bit of a comic. But one of his things was a lot of his sets were just his face poking out of a wall.
I guess we were 6.
Head.
Yeah, I was really stupid.
Yeah, you were.
We were 6. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
It's like you try to make it all cute, like, yeah, I wanted to turn into a puppet, and then it turns into like, well, see, I was being abused at the time, and puppets don't have orifices.
Look, I didn't
feel pain.
Okay, I figured you weren't really turning into a puppet, but I wanted to know how they did it. I didn't know how they did it. I really wanted to know how. Nick Arcade is more where I think they. Finders Keepers.
Right. So yeah, just quick one. 1987 to 1988. It was pretty much 2 rounds. Each had 2 halves. The first half involved finding hidden pictures in a complex drawing. Here, I can actually bring up a quick clip of it and we can flick through.
As students, we're constantly evaluated on the quality of
This
our
is a
writing,
weird game show.
on essays, homework, internship reviews.
This one, wacky game show.
Yeah. Oh, I love these.
Yeah.
Slipping, sliding, jumping, flying. Winter's skiing.
1988,
This coming kids
Yeah.
every weekend with kids.
January 14th. Oh, I vaguely remember this.
I don't remember this at all.
Kara is the this.
I vaguely remember seeing this set somewhere. I don't think I ever watched it.
Yeah, so they're literally
When it was
looking
on.
at a picture and just circling shit. Like there's a leaf in there. Oh, and then they have to go into an actual room and find weird hidden shit. I don't know. It's dumb. Who cares?
Did you watch the Orange Years documentary on Hulu?
I did. It was beautiful. I loved Nickelodeon so much. Next we
Didn't
had
mention Wienerville at all.
that's some
I was
poor
very
shit.
upset.
Uh,
You know what? I think that's why I know what Finders Keepers is. Probably from that documentary.
So think fast. 2 teams of 2 compete in various events. Oh god. Okay, they'd have kids like play Simon. Pat the Uncle. Contestants had to push down on the shoulders of 3 fat uncles to make them belch violently. What the fuck?
I want to see this.
Yeah, were they? What was that called? That was called 3 Uncles.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
All
All right, we're gonna put
push it on.
think fast 3 Uncles.
What kind of computer programming did you do?
I do Apple Computer Education.
The first thing that comes up is the Joker Brothers from next Friday.
And I've never seen that.
All right.
Is that Bronson?
It's not Bronson Pinchot. Bronson Pinchot had already he was at his peak at this time.
Well,
To create this picture, okay? At a time, you ran out of time. Audience is sitting here. We know.
yeah, I don't remember.
Oh,
this.
okay. So these are all really like basic stuff.
All
What's the
right.
very end? I have no idea what's happening. Wow. Okay. Next.
The grade.
Make the Grade. Hosted by Lou Schneider. I don't know. They have their own Wikipedia, so I guess they're worth knowing. None of them are Dana Carvey or Mark Summers. 3 contestants, each seated at a desk. Answer trivia. Okay, yeah, that really might just be it. Let's watch a brief second. I figure if we can get a theme song and then some quick shit, we'll be good for covering this.
Covering.
Oh,
Do
this
you
episode
remember?
was dedicated to Professor Hokum Jeeves. That's weird. Oh, this isn't right. No, that's
This
not
is
what I
would
clicked.
you do?
Oh, this is it. Okay, I skipped it.
Why would you do?
Have you written
I remember that.
I wish you all well. Let me explain how the game works. On our giant board, you see that we have 7
Trivia. Got it.
from Con Air.
Oh, one of the first prizes on the first Double Dare episode was a Garfield phone,
Mm.
and I was like, "Oh man, I would love that."
Oh, this kid. I don't know what happened, but this kid just lost, and he looks very sad. Sorry, Jeff.
Oh,
No,
you're saying kid? They're older than us.
that's true.
They're-
Ugh. Fuck, Joey. We might have to come back on and record just like a. Actually, no. Let's just skip out of here. Nobody gives a shit about out of here. Nobody gives a shit.
Wild and Crazy Kids. All I remember about it is Omar Gooding.
Omar Gooding, who
was one
was
of the-
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s younger brother, and
Yeah.
Next on Nickelodeon, it's Wild and Crazy Kids.
I remember this having a good theme song. That is an
Wow,
awesome.
wow,
theme
that
song.
crazy kids.
Okay, and yeah, this is like they literally go like, let's have kids jump off a trampoline to dunk a basket. Like they're all.
Yeah, the one I watched, they had to soak their parents, and whoever's parents were more wet, they weighed them before they were soaked, and it was like a cannonball in a pool contest
I gotcha.
type of thing.
All right, what would you do?
What would you do?
We're skipping Get the Picture. Who gives a shit? I don't.
This is the show that takes people and puts them into totally wild situations to see some creative decision making, and we've been doing this show for a little while now, and we've discovered that there's one thing that people just can't get enough of, and that's the Pie Pod. That's right. And for those 3 or 4 of you out there who don't know what the Pie Pod is, listen to this.
Can you show the intro of this?
I think they just. This is a cold open.
Nickelodeon. It is armed with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 pies, poised and ready to blast off. A specially designed hydraulic lift chair moves the intended person into position.
When did this come on? This came on after America's Funniest Home Videos, or
Was
this
America's
was on
Funniest Home Videos
Nickelodeon.
wasn't on Nickelodeon? No.
I know. I'm like, that was on. What was on? That was the Dave Coulier show.
Yeah,
That was similar. That was the.
this would.
this
Oh
came
yeah,
on,
America's Funniest People.
Yeah, yeah.
But no,
It
no,
was-
thi-
I had a similar vibe to this.
No,
with
this
the color
one-
scheme.
This one would almost always air directly following Double Dare. It was like a Mark
Double
Summers
Dare. It was like a,
programming
yeah,
block.
yeah. I remember watching this, and then one day it wasn't there anymore. And
Yeah,
I was like, what happened?
I don't know. All the kids want to go in the Pie Pod.
Yeah.
Into this Pie Pod.
I'm gonna get in the pie pod. You go in the pie pod? I get in the pie pod. I'm on the pie pod. I'm gonna get hit with the pie.
You get hit with the
I'm
pie.
gonna get hit with the pie.
Sound good?
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna get hit with the pie.
Stick around and see
Hit the
how
pie. This is just how many times can we hit people with pie?
What would you do?
Yeah, this is the show they made because GAC was too expensive.
1993 Nickelodeon gag. That's a lyric from the song I sent you from Explosive Bear. Here it is.
I like this.
I love that eyeball all the time. That was always so cool to me as a kid.
Oh, I remember all of this.
Me too. Yeah.
What would you? What would you? What would you do?
We're having a great time here. What would you do? I just noticed something. Could you stand over here a minute, sir? Just for a second.
No.
It's interesting.
All right.
What would
Good
you-
show.
Ah,
Liked it.
oh, look at this man.
Look at this. This is. Now,
Oh, okay, they're making fun of him at the time
I'm
too.
not sure what. Now, is this your own idea? A little bit. Yeah. Now you wore the stripes there, and then you have these shorts, and I
Why
like.
are they making fun of him? Well, they just pulled this poor man up and they're
Yeah,
like, hey, let's
he's-
ridicule your outfit. He's like,
He's-
I'm just here to have a good time.
He's dressed like the early '90s. Like, yeah, well, I guess I'll go home and murder the kids now that I've been shamed on national TV. Again,
I
I'm
thought he
not
looked like a
entirely,
wrestler.
I'm not entirely sure how this show worked. There's fucking monsters and shit.
I know. I don't remember what the
Makeup
premise
all-
was of the show at all, but I remember watching.
Oh, I think one of these people is like the kid's dad, and they need to like pick him out or something, and they don't know. Hold on.
Or they get hit with pies.
For 3 little experiments, I'm going to ask
They
you
get-
to pick out which is your mom.
Don't get hit with the pies.
You
Oh,
pick
one of
out
them is the kid's
your
mom.
She's going to the Pie Pod. How does that sound?
That's the mom.
Yes, I thought you'd like that. Okay.
This is pretty cool, actually.
That looks like the Geico caveman.
I'll let you go over and feel.
Before the Geico caveman was the thing. All right.
That's pretty scary.
I don't know, Joey. I kind of want to just throw this and watch this show now. I'm gonna bet the mom is number 1.
We are now going to have them each
That's what I said.
very close.
All right, never mind. Number 2.
1, roar. Monster number 2. And monster number 3. Okay.
This is so weird.
Felt their makeup. We have heard them roar. We've seen them dance. You have one choice to make. Tell me which one is your mom, and if you're right, she's going to the Pie Pod.
Monster number 1.
The
You-
pie pod.
Monster number 1 is your mom. Well, hold on just one second. You didn't pick the lady on the end, and is that your son?
No.
That is not your son. And we have a picture of what this young lady looked like before she came here today. Can we take a look at that shot? That's what she looked like before.
That's like her high school
And, of
fucking
course, this is the
graduation
way
photo.
she
What is
looks
this?
right now? And he did a great job, and she really looks terrific.
Your mother is
Well, the-
Carrie.
That's not her mom though. That's not his mom.
Right.
That's-
You did not
Right.
get selected.
So
that
what is
your
it?
son?
No.
That is
Could be anybody under the makeup.
Yeah.
Who is he?
My brother.
Oh, did you know that's your sister?
Oh,
You picked
cool.
her out? How did you know?
I just looked at
She usually looks that way when she wakes up in the morning, huh? Can we
Ooh, low blow, Mark Summers.
Summers.
Yeah, the
That's
makeup
why
might
the
be an
show was
improvement.
canceled.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not. Hey.
Oh god. Okay.
Don't say that.
Just need to fast forward to the end because I remember the end being like they had this fucking wall that like had a million things you could open up and like win stuff from.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Am I remembering this wrong? I'm not seeing it.
Well, this is only a 15-minute long.
Oh, all right. Well, we
thing
don't have
you got,
forever,
so
so we're gonna talk about Nick Arcade, which
Yay.
the basic premise is about hey, let's put kids into a video game. I even as a child, I remember thinking these guys do not look like they're having any fun whatsoever. Did you like
No,
Nick Arcade?
yeah, I watched it all the time, and I love the host. He was having a great time. Phil
Oh yeah.
Moore,
Uh-huh.
he was great. But the kids, at least I watched like 5 episodes today.
Mhm.
And in every episode, and random ones, not in order, like from all over, and every one of them, the kids were like, "Hey, share," like the answer, like wow, not a lot of personality
So just
in
like
those.
oh yeah, no. We didn't have young, entertaining, sexy children yet in the 90s. So I would have to wait until hey, come on. This is something the Nickelodeon was known for, enough that Dan Schneider feet is something creepy we all know of now.
There was even the Nickelodeon foot logo for a while. Remember that?
Yeah, that definitely didn't help things. But
Why?
so Nick Arcade, they would answer trivia. They would go play actual arcade games, all games I had never ever heard of before.
Except for Battletoads, that was one that was in there
Battletoads
for
was one. I was just playing Battletoads and Double Dragon last night. Great game.
Battletoads. I could never get past the hover bike level.
It's hard as fuck. I use an emulator and I cheat, and it's only fun that way.
Could never get past it.
So in this one, you would play as Mikey, and as you would get answers, they would move Mikey across the screen, and sometimes something cool would happen, or you'd get a prize or whatever, and then you'd have to play a video game. Everything was about the end, where the kid gets to go in a video game, which sounds awesome as a little kid.
Did anybody ever get to the goal, by the way? Like by playing as Mikey?
Oh yeah,
because
every single time it's like, all right, we're out of time, so we're just gonna move that little sucker to the end.
Yeah,
there.
did anyone ever get to the goal like without?
I never saw it. I never saw
it. I mean, granted, I only watched a few episodes, but it seems like that was an impossibility based on the time constraints of that show.
So let's take a look. This is from a recent behind the scenes thing, showing how it actually worked being in the video game. And pretty much they just put these poor kids on a green screen to like flail at things that they can't see. And everybody did horrible. And let's watch the misery.
The kids were already there at Universal Studios Florida filming the show, so I'm not sure how much of a prize that was. Another frequent prize was a trip to Space Camp. Now, lots of Nickelodeon shows gave away trips to Space Camp, and supposedly this is due to somebody at Nickelodeon ordering too many trips.
In level 1, the first player has to collect 3 bunches of bananas sitting high in the jungle tree. The toucans, snakes, piranhas, and coconut-throwing monkeys will all take your power. Go under the waterfall or touch the golden idol, and a rope will appear to help you over it.
The interactive games in the video zone weren't QuickTime events.
As a kid, I always wanted to be in the video game, but then, like, you know how disappointed I would be once all this. Like, I'm like, oh my god, where's everything? You gotta look at it on the screen.
No. The sets were built to the scale of the game, with some as large as 30 feet wide.
Oh, I remember
and
that
2
game.
stories tall. The blue screen footage was then sent through a high-end.
I always wanted to play that game. I would have absolutely thrown snowballs at the little elf dickheads.
That would replace the background with the game's graphics. The interaction between the players and the game was made possible by taking the high contrast, pure white on black key signal of the player movements in Ultimate and feeding them into a combination of software and hardware.
Dude, video game technology back then is still the most baffling thing. Do you know how light guns work?
I know that you need a CRT TV for them. They won't work on flat screens, but that's all I know.
Did you ever notice when you would play Duck Hunt, the screen would flash when you shot?
Yeah.
What happened is at the end of the very tip of the gun is a camera. So in that flash, it's showing it's reflecting back to the gun. to show where it is in relation to the screen and then filtering all that information back. It's insane. It is really insane and dumb for something not all that fun. The only thing I have enjoyed a light gun for is like arcade House of the Dead.
My dad bought when as a kid, he bought the Sega Genesis Menacer cartridge with the big bazooka thing. Do you remember that?
Yeah. What would you even use that for?
It was like its own game. It came with like 6 or 7 games or something like that built into its own cartridge. And you used this giant bazooka for each one of the games. This was like a shooting thing. I don't have it anymore. I wish I still did, but he got that alone.
Yeah.
I want to point out my dad got that for himself, not me. I would play it, but what happened?
Hold on. Just missed a detail here in this thing. They show Melissa Joan Hart doing an appearance on the show. It's closer to Jays at all.
From other shows filmed.
Fucking Joey Fatone was on Nick Arcade.
Explains it all.
Oh shit!
In the arcade, because we're welcoming 4 of the cast members.
That's Joey Fatone.
I think so.
A very young Joey Fatone also.
Oh yeah, it is. That's cool.
Before he was a celebrity.
Now, Joseph, I understand
He's
you
just like
sing and you like to
really,
act, like sing around in the shower or
really
in the choir or
tiny and over there.
Yeah, school and everything.
Wow, long before he starred in Mancation, there he was. Shit.
Yeah.
All right, well, Joseph, I think that is the end of this episode. We blissfully got through all this. I didn't think we were going to, but we made it.
We got it. My wife wants to watch Below Deck Mediterranean, which comes on in about 3 minutes.
That fucking show. That's what we're ending early for.
She loves it in my mom's home, so I got to get off so she can watch Below Deck.
It's on every time I go to their house. It's just about I don't know.
It's about people that work on super yachts. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go.
All right,
Bye.
Bye. We'll be back next time.
This is part 1 of 2. We're going to be talking about like all the other ones, like Global Guts and Legends of the Hidden Temple and everything.
I actually want to watch like the really new ones. I'm curious where they have gone with this.
Ooh, and remember, Figure It Out. We should talk about that too.
Figure It Out was the shit, and yes, I did everything I could to think of anything interesting that would get me on that show, and I failed. So, all right, Joe. I'll see you for that one later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Sorry, I'm nowhere near the stop button. Where'd I go? Where am I? Oh my God, Joey, it's not popping up. Are we?
I gotta go, Jess.
Are we real? You stop. Oh wait, I'm in stop share. That's the okay.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.